You learn very early that some lives are considered lighter than others, easy to move, easy to discard, easy to forget. No one explains this to you directly. You simply feel it in the way soldiers walk through your village without slowing their steps, in the way your language is corrected with a slap instead of words, in the way your name is said less and less until it almost disappears. You are 16 when you begin to understand that survival is not about being strong. It is about being unnoticed. Your home sits on land that no longer feels like it belongs to the people living on it. The fields still grow food, but most of it leaves before your family ever sees it. Winters bite harder each year. Hunger becomes a quiet roommate that never leaves. Your father leaves before sunrise and returns long after dark, his body bent forward, as if the weight of exhaustion has permanently reshaped him. Your mother's hands are always moving, sewing, fixing, mending, bleeding, and someone in your house is always sick. There is always coughing in the night, always whispered conversations about medicine that costs more than silence. You don't talk about the future. Talking about the future is a luxury. You talk about getting through the week, through the day, sometimes through the next hour. Then they arrive, clean boots, straight backs, faces that don't carry hunger. They bring an interpreter whose voice is smooth, but whose eyes never quite land on yours. They talk about work, about opportunity, about places far away where food is regular and pay arrives on time. They show photographs, smiling girls, clean uniforms, straight posture. They speak gently, like people who have never had to beg for anything. They explain that this is temporary, that you will return with skills, with money, with pride. The number they mention is more than your family has ever held at once. There is an advance, real money, heavy in your mother's shaking hands, enough to buy medicine, enough to delay disaster. They say others have already gone. They say time is short. They say this chance will not come again. Every part of you wants to refuse. Something inside you recognizes danger before your mind can explain it. But the coughing continues in the next room. Your father's hands tremble when he lifts his bowl. Your mother does not cry anymore. Her tears have already been used up. You say yes quietly. The word tastes wrong, like betrayal. But it also tastes like survival. 3 days later, you are on a train with other girls who look just as quiet as you feel. You carry everything you own in a small bundle, a photograph, a keepsake, something that reminds you who you were before this decision. The train does not feel like travel. It feels like removal. Guards replace smiles, meals become smaller. Time stretches. There is no privacy, no dignity. By the time one of the girls stops waking up, you have already learned that asking questions changes nothing. Her body is taken away without ceremony. You are told to clean. You do not scream. Screaming wastes energy. When the train finally stops, you realize the photographs lied. This is not where you were promised. You are surrounded by wire and watchtowers and lights that never fully turn off. You are lined up, counted, renamed. Your name is replaced with something easier to record, easier to erase. A wooden sign above a door becomes your new identity. The room is barely large enough for a mat and a basin. It smells like fear that has soaked into the walls. No one pretends anymore. You are told exactly why you are here, exactly what is expected of you. Resistance is explained as pointless, escape as impossible. The world beyond the wire is described as more dangerous than the men inside it. That first night, you learn how pain can disconnect the mind from the body. You discover that memory can be used like a door you step through while everything else happens somewhere far away. You focus on details that do not hurt. A garden, a voice, a moment before hunger existed. Days stop being measured by sunlight. They are measured by rotations, by footsteps outside your door, by the sound of a latch. You begin counting because numbers are clean and emotions are not. Counting gives shape to time when time no longer has meaning. Weeks pass, then months. Your body changes in ways you cannot control. Your mind adapts in ways you do not choose. You learn when to speak and when to disappear. You learn which faces bring danger and which bring silence. You learn that being seen too much is as risky as not being seen at all. Some of the girls stop speaking. Others whisper to themselves in languages that no longer exist outside their heads. A few teach you rules. Small rules, survival rules. How to fake illness without inviting punishment. How to look human enough to be tolerated, but not enough to be noticed. You store these rules carefully. They are worth more than hope. Your body grows weaker. Food keeps you alive, but never strong. Pain settles into places that never fully heal. You stop imagining a future. Imagining requires belief, and belief is dangerous. Then one night, things change. Not dramatically, quietly. Papers burn, voices shift. There is tension you cannot name but can feel in the way guards move faster and speak less. Someone whispers that the war is ending. Someone else whispers that evidence must disappear. You do not wait to find out which whisper is true. In the darkest hour before morning you move. The wire cuts your hands. You do not stop. Stopping is death. The jungle swallows you immediately. There are no paths, only fear and forward motion. Days blur together. You drink from streams. Eat what does not kill you. Someone with you grows weaker. Fever takes them quietly. You bury them with your hands and say their real name aloud for the first time. Then you keep walking, alone now. Eventually you reach people. They feed you. They do not ask questions. They also do not welcome answers. You are processed, labeled, sent back toward a place that no longer feels like home. On the journey, you rehearse lies. Lies are easier for everyone. The truth makes people uncomfortable, and uncomfortable people look away. When you finally stand in front of the door you once called home, it opens before you knock. Your mother looks older than memory allows. Your father stands straighter now. Your family survived without you. There is no place in this rebuilt world for what you have become. You understand this without words. You leave again quietly, this time by choice. Years pass. You learn how to disappear in cities full of people. You work, you move. You change names when necessary. You develop an instinct for danger that never turns off. Armies change uniforms. Power changes flags. But you treat them all the same. You hide. Your body carries damage no doctor can fully explain. Someone once calls it war damage, as if you were a building. Decades later, silence begins to feel heavier than fear. The world starts asking questions it never wanted answers to before. You read about others like you. About words that finally describe what happened. For months you write, rewrite, tear up pages. When you finally speak, your voice shakes, but it does not stop. You tell the truth not because it will fix anything, but because silence has already taken enough. Standing among others who survived, you choose not to hide your face. After a lifetime of disappearing, you decide to be seen. The world reacts loudly. Support, denial, anger, doubt. You accept all of it. None of it is heavier than what you already carried. In the end, you understand something simple. Survival takes many forms. Some people survive by screaming. Others survive by vanishing. You did both. And when the time came, you chose to speak, not because it was easy, but because it was finally yours to choose.